Prayer is power. Prayer is power. When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Pray. 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 Prayer is power. Prayer is power. What are you going to do? Pray. 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 When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. 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 Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Pray. Prayer is power. When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. What are you going to do? Pray. Pray. Pray.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming to Dr. Pillai's Religion of Religions YouTube channel. Our program right now is a Planetary Pooja, and we'll be using the chart of now based off the location where I am at the moment, which is in Florida. Thank you for coming. We're doing this program Monday through Friday on Religion of Religions YouTube channel. Dr. Pillai has said, the foundation of all religions is love, and it is his desire that through the Religion of Religions YouTube to unite the many different sects of all religions by meeting in the spiritual realm, by meeting in the heart. We believe in the supreme divine power taking form in all gods and goddesses from every religion, and we celebrate their existence on planet Earth. The intention here is also to give an authentic experience of God, the experience of divine love, where there is no separation from each other. So in working with the Planetary Pooja, we are connecting with beings of light that are associated with the planets, the stars, the archetypes that rule the stars, and inviting their positive blessings into our life and into our world. My name is Swamini Valli. I'm hosting these sessions, and I'm very happy to be doing this. The planets and stars, they're more than just objects out there in outer space. They are also beings of light. And while they're also out there in outer space, these energies are also inside of all of us. And as we do this puja, we start to create more of this sense of interconnection among the beings, but also the interconnection of their energies within us. As we do the puja, it's okay if you're very new to all this. Dr. Pillai has said, just hearing the names and the mantras of these different planets and beings is beneficial. These are sacred sounds. Their name itself is a sacred sound. And these sounds have a vibration that helps us start to move into a higher consciousness. So if you're able to participate at home by drawing the chart yourself and offering flower petals, that's fine. Or if you just want to listen to it in your car or while you're driving to work, that's fine too. Any way that you interact with this will be beneficial. So the chart that we're working with today is being shown here on the screen. This is the South Indian style of chart. And there's a link in the show more area below the video. If you're new to this style of chart, there's a video that has a little tutorial about it if you want to learn more about the chart. Each of these little boxes on this chart is representing a zodiac sign. There's 12 boxes for the 12 zodiac signs. This here AC means ascendant. That's the sign that's coming up on the eastern horizon in the area where I am at the moment. This is Leo. Ketu is sitting here today in Libra. Pluto is retrograde and Saturn is also retrograde, both sitting in the sign of Capricorn. I'm working with the 3 outer planets in addition to the traditional 9 Vedic planets, as this year Dr. Pillai has had statues commissioned for Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, had them energized and put into his temple in Chennai. And so I found out what were the mantras that were used when they energized those statues, and we're using those mantras in our puja. So up here we've got Neptune retrograde, we have Jupiter, and we also have the moon sitting in the sign of Pisces. In Aries, we've got Mars, Uranus, and Rahu. We have Venus over here in Gemini, and we have the Sun and Mercury sitting here in Cancer. So that's our lineup for today. Some of these planets are in different stars than they were yesterday, and we'll experience that as we go along. So we start with first invoking Ganesha, an archetype who removes obstacles. Om Sring Gang, Om Sring Gang, Om Sring Gang. We ask Ganesha to come and to remove all obstacles for everyone with this puja. Next, we do a short Tamil chant, asking all of the planets to be beneficial to us. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Avarkumikave. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Avarkumikave. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Avarkumikave. We ask all of the planets to be beneficial today towards us and towards our world. And we thank Saint Gnanasamundar, the Tamil saint, who created the hymn that has these verses in it. We thank him for that. And we also thank Dr. Pillai for the blessing of doing this puja. He's the one who taught this to me and to Raja, Meena Malloy's brother, many years ago. It's based off a very advanced puja performed by some of the Ashtamangala astrologers from Kerala. So just allow yourself to let the energies wash over you as we go along. We start with first sprinkling some water. I have some water here. I have a lit tea light. I have a bell. I have a fan. And I have a bowl with flower petals. I'm first taking a few drops of the water and sprinkling it in the 4 directions on the side of the blackboard that I have on a side table that has this chart drawn in chalk. That's where I'm going to be offering the flower petals of the puja. I'm also putting a drop of water on the top of my own head and sending a drop of water out into space towards all of you who are watching it live or anyone who's watching it later on the replay. So now we're all in a purified sacred space for starting. We first start with invoking the planet that rules the day. Today is Tuesday, which is ruled by Mars. We honor Mars, and I'm going to put flower petals on top of Mars each time I do the mantra for him. Flower petals have tremendous purity. And this purity is so great that when we do a mantra or prayer while we're holding a flower petal, those sounds go straight into the akash or the causal plane and actually update our own causal record or our akashic record. And they go straight into the heart of the divine being that we're invoking. So we're using flower petals to do the really fast transfer, though the warp speed transfer of our sounds into other dimensions. We start with invoking the planet that rules the day, Mars. I put flower petals on Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Right now, Mars, Uranus, and Rahu. Next, we invoke the planet that rules. We invoke the star that the moon is in. At the moment, the moon is in a star called Revati. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on top of the moon. Om Revatiye Namaha. Om Revatiye Namaha. Om Revatiye Namaha. Now we invoke the moon phase or the Tithi. Right now we're in the 7th waning moon phase in my area, which is called Saptami in Sanskrit. Dr. Pillai said for the moon phase, we would use the Sanskrit name and add the word Devi to invoke the light being associated with that moon phase. I put the flower petals on top of the moon. Om Saptami Devye Namaha. Om Saptami Devye Namaha. Om Saptami Devye Namaha. Now we invoke the planet that rules the hour. Right now here in Florida, the hour is being ruled by Mercury. That is who rules the hora right now. We honor Mercury, and I put the flower petals on top of him. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Next, we're going to invoke the yoga and the karana, 2 other time elements. Dr. Pillai said for these time elements, we would just say their name 3 times, not do flower petals for them. The yoga right now is one called Sukarman, which has energies of being generous. Sukarman, Sukarman, Sukarman. And the karana right now is one called Vishti, which has energies of inefficient. Vishti, Vishti, Vishti. Now we turn our attention to the chart of the moment. The moment, the ascendant is in the sign of Leo, and it's ruled by the sun. Dr. Pillai said we start with honoring the planet that rules the ascendant. So we're going to invoke the sun, and I'll put flower petals on top of him. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Now we're going to go from the ascendant in a clockwise direction till we come to the first rasi or sign that has a planet in it. And today, the first one is Tula or Libra, which today contains Ketu. Tula or Libra is a sign with an energy of balance, harmony, and Ketu is sometimes called the saintly planet. We honor Ketu, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Ketu is in a star called Vishaka. This is a star that has competitive energies and likes to win, have victory. We invoke this star. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Vishaka star is ruled by a pair of archetypes, Indra and Agni. Indra can give energies of leadership, courage, and Agni can give energies of transformation and purification. We invoke them, and I put the flower petals on top of Ketu. Om Indra Agniye Namaha. Om Indra Agniye Namaha. Om Indra Agniye Namaha. Vishaka star is ruled by the planet Jupiter. We honor Jupiter, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Now we invoke the planet that rules Taurus, which is Venus. We honor Venus, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Tula or Libra, a sign of balance and harmony, today containing Ketu, the saintly planet. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign that has a planet in it is Makara or Capricorn, which today contains Pluto, who is retrograde, and also Saturn, who's retrograde. We start with honoring with Pluto, a planet that can help with rationality and science. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Pluto right now is in a star called Uttarashada, a star that can give long-lasting success. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on top of Pluto. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Uttarashada star is ruled by the 10 Visvadevas, 10 archetypes who each represent a particular divine universal principle. We honor them, and I put flower petals on top of Pluto. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Uttarashada star is ruled by the sun. We honor the sun, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Next, we honor Saturn, who is retrograde. When planets are retrograde, they're actually extra powerful. Saturn feels very comfortable because he's sitting in a sign he rules. We honor Saturn, and I put flower petals on him. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Today, Saturn is in a star called Dhanishta. Dhanishta is a star of wealth and music and desire for good reputation. We honor this star. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Dhanishta star is ruled by the 8 Vasus, beings of light, who each rule a different sphere of existence. We honor them. Om Vasusye Namaha. Om Vasusye Namaha. Om Vasusye Namaha. Dhanishta star is ruled by Mars. We honor Mars. Excuse me. And I put flower petals on top of Mars. Just a moment. I'm going to take a sip of water. We honor Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Makara or Capricorn, which is Saturn. Again, we honor Saturn, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Makara or Capricorn, a sign of ancient past life abilities and skills, today containing Pluto, who is a planet of destruction, and he may be destroying things in our life that are not set up to be long-lasting. But he's also a planet of rationality and science. And Saturn, who is a planet that helps with patience, organization, discipline. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi sign with the planet in it is Mina or Pisces, which today contains Neptune retrograde, Jupiter, and the moon. We start with honoring Neptune. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Right now, Neptune is in a star called Purvabhadrapada. This is a star with the fire of Kundalini, and a star that also helps with purification. Om Purvabhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purvabhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purvabhadrapadaye Namaha. Purvabhadrapada star is ruled by Aja Ekapada, a one-footed archetype who can give us blessings to help us experience silence and forgiveness. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Purvabhadrapada star is ruled by Jupiter. We honor Jupiter, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Now we honor Jupiter for being in Mina or Pisces. So again, we honor him, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Jupiter right now is in a star called Uttara Bhadrapada. Dr. Pillai says this star is one that can help us with business development. We honor this star. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Uttara Bhadrapada star is ruled by an archetype called Ayurbundia. One of his qualities is that he can help with guarding treasure or our precious things. We honor him. Om Arbundiaye Namaha. Om Arbundiaye Namaha. Om Arbundiaye Namaha. Uttara Bhadrapada star is ruled by Saturn. We honor Saturn, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Next, we honor the moon. The moon keeps zipping around, and today he's in a new star. He is in the star of Revati, which is the last of the 27 stars. He cycles through all these stars each month. So right now we honor the moon, the planet that helps with our mind and our emotions. I have flower petals on top of him. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Dr. Pillai says Revati star has qualities of all the other stars because he's the last one of the set, but his speciality is energies for wealth, nourishment, and travel. We honor this star. Om Revati Namaha. Om Revati Namaha. Om Revati Namaha. Revati is ruled by an archetype called Pushan. Pushan is an archetype who helps take care of the cows of the gods. Cows in an agricultural society are a symbol of wealth. So to be entrusted with taking care of cows, you're being entrusted with looking after something very precious. We honor Pusan, who I guess in a way is like the first cowboy. I grew up out west, and that makes me laugh when I think of him that way. We honor Pusan. Om Pusanye Namaha. Om Pusanye Namaha. Om Pusanye Namaha. Revati star is ruled by Mercury. We honor Mercury, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Meena or Pisces, which is Jupiter. We honor Jupiter, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Meena or Pisces, the zodiac sign that is the most metaphysical and transcendental of all the signs, today containing Neptune, a planet that helps with intuition and our ability to understand our inner self. Jupiter, planet that helps with spiritual teachings and our relationship with spiritual teachers. And the moon, which is our mind and our emotions. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with a planet in it is Misha or Aries, which today contains Mars, Uranus, and Rahu. Right now, all three of those planets are in the same star. So we're going to invoke all three of the planets before we invoke the star. We start with the moon. We start with Mars. We honor Mars and put flower petals on top of him. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Next, we honor Uranus, a star that helps, a planet that helps with high intelligence. Om Ram Prajapataye Namaha. Om Ram Prajapataye Namaha. Om Ram Prajapataye Namaha. Next, we honor Rahu, a planet that helps us to think outside the box. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Mars, Uranus, and Rahu are all in the star of Bharani. This star is symbolized with the yoni, a symbol that represents the female private parts. This is a star with a tremendous amount of divine feminine energy or Shakti or power. We honor this star. Om Barniye Namaha. Om Barniye Namaha. Om Barniye Namaha. Barney star is ruled by Yama, an archetype of justice. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Barney star is ruled by Venus. We honor Venus and put flower petals on top of Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Misha or Aries is ruled by Mars. We honor Mars, and I put flower petals on top of Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Misha or Aries, a fire sign with a tremendous amount of active energy. Today containing Mars, a warrior healer planet. Uranus, a planet that helps with high intelligence, innovation, and success in life. And Rahu, a planet that helps with fresh ideas for solving problems. He helps us to think outside the box. And he also helps us to make friends with new technologies. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Mithuna or Gemini, which today contains Venus. We honor Venus, who today is in a fresh star, a different star than yesterday. We honor Venus, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Today, Venus is in a star called Ardra. Ardra is symbolized as a teardrop of compassion. We honor this star. Om Ardraye Namaha. Om Ardraye Namaha. Om Ardraye Namaha. Ardra is ruled by the archetype Rudra, a very fierce form of Shiva that destroys negativity. Om Rudraye Namaha. Om Rudraye Namaha. Om Rudraye Namaha. Ardra's star is ruled by the planet Rahu. We honor Rahu, and I put the flower petals on top of him. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Mithuna or Gemini, which is Mercury. I put flower petals on top of Mercury. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Mithuna or Gemini, a sign with a great range of energies. Today containing Venus, planet of happiness, planet that helps us to enjoy material plane comforts, planet of the arts. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Karkata or Cancer, which today contains the Sun and Mercury. We start with honoring the Sun, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Today, the sun is in a star called Purnavasu. This is a star with tremendous energies of freedom loving. We honor this star. Om Purnavasaye Namaha. Om Purnavasaye Namaha. Om Purnavasaye Namaha. Purnavasu's star is ruled by a goddess called Aditi, an amazing goddess, and she's the mother of many archetypes, including our own sun. We honor Aditi, and I put the flower petals on top of the sun. Om Aditye Namaha. Om Aditye Namaha. Om Aditye Namaha. Purnavasu's star is ruled by Jupiter. We honor Jupiter, and I put the flower petals on top of him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Next, we honor Mercury for being in Cancer. I put the flower petals on top of Mercury. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Mercury right now is in a star called Pusha. This is the most spiritually auspicious of all the stars. We honor Pusha, and I put the flower petals on top of Mercury. Om Pushaye Namaha. Om Pushaye Namaha. Om Pushaye Namaha. Pusha's star is ruled by Brihaspati, a form of Jupiter in which he's very much in his mode as a teacher even of the gods themselves. We honor Brihaspati, and I put the flower petals on top of Mercury. Om Brihaspataye Namaha. Om Brihaspataye Namaha. Om Brihaspataye Namaha. Pusha's star is ruled by Saturn. We honor Saturn, and I put flower petals on top of him. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Karkata or Cancer, which is the moon. We honor the moon, and I put flower petals on top of the moon. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Karkata or Cancer, the most emotionally sensitive of all the zodiac signs, today containing the sun, which is our soul, and Mercury, planet of communication. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. Now I'm going to take a lit ghee light, in my case, a tea lamp, and pass it over the chart 3 times in a clockwise direction, high above the flower petals, offering all these divine beings that we have just invoked, the element of light. Next, I'm going to take a little hand fan. I have a housemate who's sensitive to scent. You could use a lit incense stick if you like. And I'm going to gently wave the fan above the chart 3 times in a clockwise direction, offering the element of air to all these divine beings. And next, I'm going to ring a bell 3 times in a clockwise direction above the chart, offering the element of sound. Dr. Pillai said when we ring a bell, it brings the divine in right away into the space. which is why so many different traditions work with bells. So now that we've offered light and the fan and the bell, now we make a prayer to all of these divine beings that we have just invoked, asking them for their positive blessings for us, for our families, our friends, our colleagues, our homes, our workplaces, our communities, our countries, our schools, and we ask for blessings for the entire planet. May everyone on this planet have healthy food to eat, clean water to drink, clean air to breathe, a safe place to live, good clothes to wear, access to health care, good education, sustainable jobs, and may everyone on this planet have love in their life, now and always. And I make a bow. You can continue to make your personal prayers for about a minute, and then I'll open for some question and answer period. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace to the body, peace to the mind, peace to the soul, peace to the environment, peace, peace, peace. May we all go about our day, our afternoon, our evening in peace. I'm going to take questions for just a few moments. I see Ranak asking, what is the impact of the recent transition of Sun and Mercury to Cancer? Cancer is a very feminine energy sign, and the Sun is a very masculine planet. And among the planets, we could even think of the king, the Sun is kind of being the king among the planets. And Cancer is ruled by the moon, which we could think of as being the queen. So it's like the king is visiting the queen's apartment. And so this is a month when the sun is in Cancer that actually lights up a lot of goddess month, a lot of goddess energy. In Tamil Nadu, this month is called, that the sun is in Cancer, it's called Adi. And so the month of Adi has a lot of goddess energy in it, a lot of special festivals for the goddess. So the sun is lighting up that divine feminine energy for us. And it's a good time for some of us to connect with the goddess in whatever tradition that works for you, whether that's Mother Mary or Lakshmi or Kuan Yin in a Chinese Taoist tradition. You could think of that. Mercury is always going to be kind of close to the sun. Venus and Mercury never get too far away from the sun. They're the planets that are closest to the sun. So Mercury is often close by with the sun. So Mercury may be helping us to focus a little more communication, to maybe be gracious to the various women in our lives. Maybe it's a time to express your gratitude to your mom or a mother figure in your life, to be more kind to women, patient with them, etc. Cancer being so emotionally sensitive, it may also be a time to work on expressing our emotions in a positive way, to be willing to share them a bit more openly would perhaps be a use of that energy in a positive way. Okay, so I hope that briefly answers that question. Okay, not seeing other questions right now in the chat, which is okay. Yes, Evelyn is saying, please press the like button. Pressing the like button and subscribing to the channel helps the channel to grow, helps more people to find the channel with the, the way the YouTube has their algorithms for what they post on your entry page into YouTube, stuff will pop up more easily. And if you subscribe to it and then click on the bell to receive notifications, you'll be notified when things go live. There are other live programs happening today on Religion of Religions channel. There's for divine light for healing, and then there's also a program of prayers to Jesus. So the Dr. Pillai has a vision for this channel to continue to grow until we have something happening on it, 24/7. So we're still in very early days for that. But Ronnie, our channel manager, is doing a beautiful job of helping us grow into that vision. And thank her for her help and support. Okay, if there's no more questions right now, I'll go ahead and play the rest of this little video. It'll end with Dr. Pillai talking about how prayer is power. And power does not mean domination. In the world of the network of enlightened beings, power means higher consciousness. So when we pray together, it's helping us go into a higher state of consciousness. So thank you for being here. I'll be here again tomorrow. We're doing this Monday through Friday right now on this channel. And I'm grateful to you for coming and your support. Namaste. Oh, I forgot this one doesn't end with the prayer is power one. It just ends with the slide. Okay. So thank you for joining us sincerely. And I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.